Okay. Okay. Okay, am I going, guys? I can't tell. YouTube says I'm live, so hopefully I'm live and you guys can hear me. I know I'm going to do is I'm going to do I need to do a thing. I need to I'm going to do this over here. Let's put this over here. Let's take this over here. Sorry, I'm doing some nonsense, so I'm going to have a change of plan, so to speak, I guess. Put you there like this. Let's put this like this. All right, we'll just leave that like that for a minute. Let me go to here. Let's go to this part. Let me go to this part. And I'm gonna I'm selecting a different window. Like, okay. There we go. That's better. Let me get back to here. Drink. Hey, Nasal Penny. How's it going? High signal. So I wonder what the delay is between you guys seeing me and my sending it out. I'm doing okay. How are you doing? I'm going to stay on Mind Test, Bob. Mostly because I'm enjoying it and I don't have any, I don't know, I have no reason to think that I would prefer Minecraft to Mind Test, so. And I don't like Microsoft, so. There's a lot of things for me. That's a big reason for me not to use them. Or not to play that game anyway. Can I do finger tracing writing ASMR? I don't know. I've never done that. I don't know. I'd have to maybe go watch somebody else do it and see what it is and see how I like it. Dark Souls Remastered. Okay. It's just odd because well, there's a difference between this and what the YouTube monitor shows me and the OBS monitor. Well, the OBS is here, local, and then YouTube gives me a thing about what it's supposedly broadcasting. But I think there's like a delay, even like so. This what YouTube's showing me, and then probably what you guys are seeing. Oh, hey Dylan, it's good to see you, man. Writing A. Oh, you mean like to go like this? A S M R? I mean, I don't know. So, what am I going to be starting with this morning, this evening, tonight? Oh, I don't know if anybody can tell. I got a new camera. Hey, how's it going, Virtual Nazgul? But I did dial it back because it will do 1080, but I didn't like the way that 1080 framed things, what I'm doing live here, because it's, I don't know. So I switched it back to 1280-720 just for live, but yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of complaints about Microsoft, Bob, but yeah. Anyway, let's not talk about things that piss us off or make us unhappy. Let's talk about things that can make us happier. I think I'm going to just go right into, let me get a drink of water first. Let's do some triggers, I think. Oh, you know what? Give me one quick sec. I'm going to be away from the camera here for a quick sec. I just realized I forgot a thing. It's across the room. I'm going to go get it. Okay, sorry about that. I was ill prepared and yeah, there we go. All right, see what's going on here. Yeah, do not overwork yourself, man. You will. It's counter to trying to make gains, man. If you overwork a muscle, you're damaging it, and it's not going to get you what you want. Yeah, see, follow Nasal Penny's advice. Sorry, I should have jumped ahead. I could have just said, yeah, follow Nasal Penny's advice and save me the effort. Oh, man, my back is itchy. Ah. Okay, let's get off that mess. Okay, so the thing that I went across the room to get, and hopefully it'll be worth it. Okay, before I get it out, I'll tell you. So I was watching one of Maria's videos. I can't remember the title of it, but in it she was doing some tapping and finger noises on, I think it was like a vinyl purse or something like that. And anyway, I liked it. And anyway, so I found this thing here. It's a vinyl, or I don't know, is it vinyl or leather? I think it's vinyl, but it might be leather. Oh crap, it's leather. All right, you can see the kind of the inside bit that it's the leather, inside of the leather. Anyway, it's a portfolio, like brief portfolio thing for work that my dad used to use when he was he used to do computer stuff too. Anyway, so I liked it, and then I was going to see if it would work. So she was doing. Oh, hey, Crazy Lord. Hey, James. I don't know, what do you guys think? I quite like this. Yeah, I like that. Maybe I should do a little bit of whispering over here, up close whispering. Whisper, 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 whisper. And I can whisper, 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 whisper over here too. Whisper, whisper, whisper. Whisper, 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 whisper. And whisper, 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 whisper. And whisper, 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 whisper. And whisper, 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 whisper. Whisper, 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 whisper. And whisper, 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 whisper. And whisper, 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 whisper. Okay, we'll come back to that a little bit. I think I quite like it. And where are we going to put it? Out of the way here. Okay, that's over there. I'll do the crinkle stuff later. What are we going to do next? Let's do a little bit of the jar, maybe. there's a dog barking. Okay. Holy mackerel. I hope they will stop soon. Hey, Future Helen. Okay, now we can get back to some an ASMR live stream. Holy mackerel. They're alerting my ear dogs, yeah. Oh, man. Sounded like they were all going at it right then. Must have been like a siren or something, I think. I guess I should not forget the fact that sometimes people actually like to hear my voice, right? And I can do some soft speaking and some whispering like that. Oh, not again. Yikes. Holy mackerel. You know how baseball games get rained out, man. I'm going to get dogged out. Come on, pooches. Oh, man. Go plug in your phone, man. Okay, well, at least somebody kind of likes it. They annoy me. I mean, I love the dogs, and I like going up and playing with them and stuff, but, yeah, when they bark and stuff, it just drives me nuts. But what are you going to do? They're dogs, right? I mean, they bark at stuff. Let's do a little bit of whispering over here, and a little bit of soft speaking over here, and a little bit of whispering over here, and whisper, 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 and some soft speaking, and I'll do a little bit of whispering over here, a little bit of whisper, 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 and some soft speaking, and some enough of the bottle, or the jar, I mean, for now. How about the craft brush and brushing the microphone a bit? It seems like that one's kind of facing down. When did that happen? I'll just leave it, that's fine. Brushing on the microphone. Brushing on the microphone. Brushing on the microphone. Brushing on the microphone. I know, what time is it getting to be and how many people do we have? Okay, it's 20 after and there's 23 of us. I'm going to kick off the evil timer. Sorry, y'all. And there goes the evil timer. Oops, hang on. Where'd that thing get? Did I have too many windows open? All right. Let's go back to doing some brushing with the microphone, shall we? Or brushing on the microphone, I guess. Brushing on the microphone. Brushing on the microphone. Brushing on the microphone. Brushing on the microphone. Okay, we have here another comment. That seems like a strange juxtaposition of me and Hazel Penny, that playing a game with the damage and weapons and all of that, and, you know, at the same time, well, you know, hanging out with that weirdo with a long beard, being all ASMR-like. I love it. And I'm brushing on the microphone. This is on my left, but your right. On my left, but your right. And now this will be on my right, but your left. On my right, but your left. Soft speaking, just for good measure. A little bit of soft speaking. And a little bit of soft speaking. A little bit of soft speaking. And some whisper too. And what do we have here? Hey, Cat Opium. I'm glad you're digging it. What are we gonna do next? I'll come back to all of them probably at some point. You know, let's brush on the wood. The chunk of wood. Everybody's favorite chunk of wood. So I will do some end grain brushing, and then I'll do some tapping. First I'll tap with the brush handle, and then I'll do my fingers. Go over to this side now. I like that good old random bit of wood. Over here again for a little bit. And we're going to brush on the end grain of the wood. Brushing on the end grain of the wood. And we'll do a little bit of that over here. Brushing on the end grain of the wood some more. Alright, let's put the, well, you know, I was going to do it with the handle, wasn't I? So let's do that first, and then I'll use my fingers. So here we go. We'll come over here again. Oops. I guess first with the pads of my fingers. Doing some basic tapping on good old random bit of wood. I like that phrase, virtual Nestle. I'm going to use it. The good old random bit of wood. And I will whisper over here a little bit. And then I will speak softly. And then I will whisper again. And then I will speak softly. All the while, I'll do a little bit of tapping over there. And I'll switch. Old reliable. And I will whisper over here. And I will soft speak over here too. I will whisper over here. Whisper, 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 whisper. And then I will soft speak. Or should I say, speak softly. Whisper, 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 whisper. Thanks, Lucas. Mary Jane Weed, great name. Whisper, 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 whisper. Whisper, 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 whisper. Hey, Benjamin. Whisper, 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 whisper. And then I will soft speak. And I will soft speak just a little bit more. And then I will go back over here and I will soft speak again. Cushy joint freak sounds better. Well, we'll play that game a little bit. Just since, I already had it up there right now and you mentioned it, so, we'll get to it. Oh, it's this, since the game thing just reminded me that there is a video already up and scheduled for Monday, and it's going to be another Enigma, for those of you who like the Enigma game. I like that game. I don't know that I can say I'm any good at it, but I do like it. Whisper, 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 whisper. And then speak softly. Speaking softly and then whispering. Now I'll do a little bit more over here with some tapping over there and some whispering over here while there's some tapping over there. Whispering and tapping. Whispering and tapping. That just reminded me, I'm not sure, I guess it's just the cadence of it and the doing a thing and then doing another thing. I don't remember the name of the thing. I'm pretty sure, I don't remember where it comes out of. I think it might be out of United States, which is a Laurie Anderson thing. Well, the thing I'm thinking of is a Laurie Anderson thing. I just can't remember if it's off of, what was it, Big Science, I think is her first album, or if it's off the gigantic thing of United States. But it's this thing where she's talking about that you're walking and you're falling. Like when you walk, that you're falling. And I think I don't remember how she sets it up, but then she's doing this, you're walking and you're falling. There's a couple of things that she does where I got ASMR off it. One of them is this thing, it's out of the United States, I remember, where it's because it's from the live thing of United States. I don't know, is there any other thing other than live thing? I know there's a couple of different recordings of it. One even was made into a movie, which was pretty cool. But anyway, there's this other woman that isn't Laurie Anderson, and I don't remember her name at all. But she's kind of telling this story about how she had this dream, and in this dream she wasn't a person, that she was a place. And it's this really groovy little talk, little spiel thing, kind of surrealistic, well, I'm not sure how to describe it. Maybe not surrealistic isn't the right way, but that just came to mind because since it was talking about dream states or whatever, that's the first thing that comes to my mind is surrealism. So yeah, maybe it is surreal. But I don't know, I get lots of ASMR of it though. Love Lucy, is that what that is? Hi, glad you made it to a stream too. Okay, now I'm going to switch over to use my fingernails. Just a little bit slightly different sound, yeah. I like it though. And I will soft speak over here just a little bit. And then I will follow up with a little bit of a whisper. And then I will once again soft speak. And still some more soft speaking to be followed by some whispers. Just a little bit of whispering. And now I'm going to switch mics again. And I will whisper over here while I tap over there. And I will whisper over here while I tap over there. And I will whisper right here, but I will tap over there. And I will whisper right here, and then I'll tap over there. Whisper, 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 whisper. And I'll do a little bit of back and forth kind of thing. Whisper, 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 whisper. Whisper, 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 whisper. Whisper, 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 whisper. Okay, I'm going to switch now to the beard brush. So let's see, I always get screwed up because looking at this isn't a mirror, right? It's a camera. So I'm always like, it's kind of weird. So do a little brushing of the beard. Now I'll brush this side. Now I got some hair in it. Let's get the hair up. There we go. And I will whisper now. There's some whispering happening right now. And in a second, I'm going to switch back over to the soft speaking. And whisper. And speak softly. And whisper. do, bear with me for a quick sec. I'm gonna go, I don't need to leave the camera, but man, that is itchy. Probably because I was out in the garden all day. Probably got tons of pollen all over me or some such. And what is it? Where is it? Maybe it's in here, in this folder. Let me see. Is it this one? Yeah, here we go. I'll move it over here so I can see it for a minute, and then I'll put this back. There we go. Now I can put this back over here. Okay, so here we go, because I can never remember to always have to get this piece of paper out. Catatonic catacombs constantly cater to captivating creatures. 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 Man, I was going to do some more of the beard brush, wasn't I? Before I got all caught up with trying to remember that phrase. All right, here we go. I like that. It's a little bit brighter than the reliable one. Old reliable. Let's go over here now. Oh, you like it with the fingernail without the... All right, I'll get to that in a second. I like this one now, personally. But yeah, I will do it in fingers just a second. I'll go over to this side a little bit. Okay, Dylan. Oh, wow. Well, that's cool. There's no reason you can't have multiple podcasts, Dylan. If you have the time, go for it, man. Well, assuming you're into it, right? But it is kind of crazy, right? You're planning one and somebody says, hey, do it with me. Maybe it's a thing, man. Maybe you just have the vibe about you that you need to be doing a podcast, man. I will whisper over here a bit. Whispering over here a bit. That's cool, man. And I'm glad to hear you're making progress on your podcast. Hey, Maximo. Or would you prefer to be called Sebastian? And there's some more dogs. Although now it sounds like they're in the backyard, not upstairs. Well, that one walking is upstairs, but... well, you're welcome for the stream, and I hope you enjoy Formula One when you get to it. Hey, Jaden. Faith frequencies, that's cool. Nice alliteration. Well, being busy is cool, man. As long as you're being busy with things that, you feel are, fulfilling. Oh, okay. I've always been the other way. I prefer to do creative stuff largely to myself, although I do, well, that's not entirely true. There's certain things I like to do by myself, whereas there's other things that are, like when you're jamming, that obviously you need other people to do it. But like when I'm composing stuff, or if I'm writing stuff, or if I'm, doing ASMR stuff, I largely prefer to do it by myself. But collaboration can be fun. But if you're doing a live performance of music and stuff, I'm very into the whole improvisational group thing. It will be not this coming Monday, because this coming Monday will be Enigma. But so the Monday after that mind test is going to be every other Monday for the foreseeable future. I know it's a very popular series, but I don't want my channel to turn into being just mind test, But I'm glad it's as popular as it is. It's done, quite a bit for giving me better numbers, etc., for the whole YouTube algorithm thing. Let's go down back to a little bit slower on the tapping on here again. That's cool. Yeah, I could think, especially, I'm going to assume that it's going to be, faith frequencies. It's pretty obvious what the kind of content's going to be there. But yeah, I think that could be a useful thing to have conversations with, I mean, especially since one part of organized religion is the idea of fellowship, which means more than one person, right? What kind of music was I into? A lot of different kinds of music. I play guitar. I also, kind of dabble in keyboard and that kind of thing. But I became a guitarist because of Jimi Hendrix. I think I was like 12 or something when I heard Hendrix. It was on a radio station at my friend's house, and Purple Haze came on, and I went, "What in the world is that?" I'd never heard Hendrix before somehow. Come on, dogs. And yeah, I don't know, it just blew my mind, man. Hey, Chip. Well, I'm out here on the West Coast, of course, you know. But yeah, glad to hear from you, man. Thanks, Soren. So you want louder keyboard noises than what comes through on the headset? I'll have to think about that. I mean, I'm certain there's probably a way I could manage it. I'll have to do some thinking about it, though. Because I'm using OBS to do it. I think there's a way I can... I don't know. I'll sort it out and see if maybe I can make it work. We'll find out. Oh, wow. That's cool, Dylan. Seems like things are beginning to happen for the podcast realm for you. That's groovy. Oh, hey, Joaquin. Thank you. From California back to you in Argentina. Oh, wow, Brian May, yeah. Oh, wow, cool. Yeah, that's, Brian May's guitar is, well, his one, the one he made himself, is pretty crazy, but I've never played one of the signature ones, but, so I have no idea what they play like, but, I play Rickenbacker 620. Oh, I also have an EVH. It's the Wolfgang, but it's the inexpensive Indonesian one, you know, but I quite like it. Frankly, I bought it kind of on a whim, but man, for being the price that it is, it's a pretty amazing guitar. Well, I guess manufacturing techniques being what they are now, they can, you know, churn out a really high quality guitar at a pretty low price now. But yeah, my Rickenbacker is the one that one will always be my guitar. And actually, if you're curious, you can go to my music channel. It's 3 Monks in a Tub. I don't remember if I have a link to that in the description of the live stuff or not, but you can just go to any other of my videos and there's a link to my music channel and also my vlog channel too if you're interested. But I've been kind of not very active on either of those right now because I've been trying to, you know, kind of get some traction on this and get it going. But yeah. Hey James, how's it going? Hey Rita, nice to have you join us. Well, I think pretty well, mostly, you know. But thanks for asking, Rita. Glad you're back, or, you know, have returned, or whatever the right thing to say about that is. Wow, AC30, yeah. That's a little bright for my taste, but a lot of times, but they definitely cut through a mix, that's certainly true. Well, Soren, I'll take that as a compliment, man. Yeah, Fernandez. I've never played one, but I have heard the name. They're, as I remember, they have a pretty good reputation. Aren't they kind of high-end? I'm thinking I'm kind of associating that name at a similar level as like Sir or something like that. But again, I haven't played one, so I don't really know. Dogs, dogs, dogs. Yikes. All right, let's see what else we have trigger-wise. I think the only thing left I haven't really got to tonight so far is one of my favorites, the Bag-O crinkle. So what do I want to start with first? Let's start with metallicized plastic snack bar wrapper. Metallicized plastic snack bar. Am I into cars at all? Not really, but yes. I mean, okay, so there's a certain thing about cars that I can admire from their engineering standpoint. And, you know, I was a kid, I grew up in California, so, you know, cars is a big part of California culture. The car I learned to drive in was my mom's 65 Mustang, which was a 289 with a 3-speed on the floor, and that was an amazing car to learn to drive in. And I admire other cars, like, well, for a long time, I owned and worked on old air-cooled Volkswagens, and I was very into that. And so, by extension, I became interested in Porsches, of course. Never owned one, but as I've gotten older, as much as I kind of admire cars for their engineering feat and that they can be kind of a fun thing to drive around, as a means of transportation in a modern urban sense, they're a monstrous mistake. Public transportation and better logistics would, better serve us as a human race, and, being in urban settings, which is actually the best way to organize ourselves, really. I kind of wish cars would go the way of the horse, right? So that only enthusiasts, etc., would be driving them, because then their impact on the environment would be negligible. But anyway, there's my rant on cars. But I'm pretty much a committed pedestrian nowadays. I mean, I'll ride in cars, but only if somebody else is going with, or so I'm kind of getting into a carpool situation. And I don't drive. I haven't driven since I was 40. But that's because I got a DUI, and there's a whole lot to that story. I'm not going to get into that tonight. It's just not a very positive or fun story. What's my opinion on Motley Crue? Greetings from Serbia. Well, greetings to Serbia from California. For me, Motley Crue is kind of a hit and miss band. Some of their stuff is okay, and some of it is kind of eh. I think the problem is that, I'm going to use Warrant as an example. I'm pretty sure it's Warrant did Cherry Pie, right? Which was a big hair metal hit back in the mid-'80s, for those of you who don't remember, or weren't around. And I saw an interview, I don't know, just a few years ago, so many years after the fact, of, I don't remember if it was a singer or whatever, I'm going to assume it was a singer that wrote that song. He wrote that song because of pressure from, label, like the A&R guy or someone said, hey, you need to, we need an AM hit or something. I mean, I don't know how they worded it or whatever, but they wanted a particular type of song for them to, to push out as a radio hit, or a single, I should say, right, that they hoped would be a hit. And he wrote it, but he wasn't anything he put a lot of effort into or really felt very strongly about. It was just to satisfy this, demand from the label. And it kind of pigeonholed him after that. And he's like, yeah, we made a lot of money, but, he was really unhappy with the way the band's career went after that, because the label had him by the balls after that, and they couldn't do what they wanted. Now, I don't think that Motley Crue suffered that same ilk to the same extreme as Warrant did. But I do think that there was times that some of their material was kind of and I suspect that it's because they were part of that LA hair metal thing, and the labels are going, look, more Hairspray, sell videos, or, make videos, sell records, that kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I realize that the record company and the record industry is a business, but music is art, you know what I mean? So I had a lot of, mixed feelings about how music gets distributed and how the business grew up and all that. But anyway, Jaden says he's in college. Wow, all right. Oh, yeah. I can see that, James. Yeah, I mean, if you need to be able to, taxi somebody around for whatever reason, man, and, I mean, there are instances when a car is the proper use of technology and the best application or whatever, but not for most people. And it's funny to see people during rush hour, and it's like one person in a car sitting in a vast line of other people, one person per car, and gridlock nonsense for hours. It's like there's better ways of moving people around. I don't know. That's if you're kind of curious about that things, I would recommend checking out Strong Towns and Not Just Bikes, and I think it's City Nerd or something like that. They're all pretty much urban planning type places that I'm kind of very interested in all that kind of urban planning theory and all that kind of thing. Okay, that's enough of that metallicized snack wrapper here. Let's put this out of the way. What's next? How about the big weird shaped bubble wrap, right? Well, the piece isn't that big and weird, but the bubbles are. Do I have a favorite metal band? See, there's a thing. I like Black Sabbath a lot. I also like some of Iron Maiden's early stuff. I like some early Judas Priest, too. Also, Sepultura. I like Sepultura quite a bit, although I haven't heard them in years. I had a friend who was really, really into that whole scene, and he used to play it, so I never bought it because I just hang out with him and he'd play it for me. So I don't know. It's hard for me to say if I have a single favorite. So yes, people say, "What's your favorite?" Whatever. It's like I have to go. I don't know how to answer that. I just don't. I mean, as a musician, most musicians, especially musicians I know, whatever, we like almost everything. You know what I mean? And even the stuff that we kind of don't like, it's mostly just because it doesn't land. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really care for Justin Bieber. It's not. I just doesn't. I listen to it and go, well, it's produced well. The sounds are good. The mix is great. But it doesn't do anything for me. It just doesn't hit me emotionally in any meaningful way. And there's not enough of a musical interest, for musicianship or the complexity of beats or something like that. There's like, whatever. It's like take it or leave it. But yeah, so. Let's see, do I enjoy traveling? Yeah, I do. I just can't afford to do it anymore. Favorite places in and out of the U.S. I haven't really traveled that much in the U.S., to be honest. Actually, I haven't traveled that much, period, frankly. So in the U.S., I'm in California, and I traveled around California quite a bit, but, so it's really hard for me to say, because I really love San Francisco. I used to live in San Francisco, but I really, really, really love San Francisco. I think it's a great city. And there's also, Yosemite's great. I was going to say Torrey Pines. Torrey Pines is great, too, down in, La Jolla. But what I was really thinking is Point Reyes. That's fantastic. So there's a lot of beautiful places in California. And I've been to Indiana. I've been there both on business and for some. I have relatives back there from extended family going back a couple of generations, kind of thing. And I went back for some funerals, but yeah. Anyway, so I don't know what to say. I guess it's just something. I don't know. In California, again, it's that favorite thing. That's my favorite. I'm not sure. Well, okay, I'll tell you what. I do have a favorite place in the U.S. because it's the U.S. territory. It's Puerto Rico. I did do a cruise. I've done a couple of cruises but one of them was through the Panama Canal. And at the end of it, because it went from San Francisco to Puerto Rico, it was a repositioning cruise. So me and I traveled with a friend, and he and I ended up getting a suite at this the Wind Chimes Hotel in San Juan. And so it was like we had 2 king-size beds and a little kitchen area and a little eating area. I mean, it was a fantastic sort of little setup, but, it's fantastic. Anyway, but just the beauty of the landscape and the friendliness of the people. I think part of it was also that it wasn't just a couple of days and move on. Well, actually, not even. When you're on a cruise ship, you're there for a day and you move on, kind of thing. But we were there for, I guess, an extra 2 weeks or something. No, it wasn't quite 2 weeks, just short of 2 weeks. In Puerto Rico. And man, that was amazing. It was just freaking amazing. Outside of the U.S., I don't know. I'm equally in love with the Netherlands and the United Kingdom. Maybe I favor the UK a little bit just because I have friends there, and I've been there more often. Although I guess only once more often, frankly. But I spent more time there. Oh, that's not true, is it? It's about a wash. Because it just dawned on me, when I was in the Netherlands, I went for 3 months each time, and it was a kind of a pleasure-work mix thing. Anyway, where am I? I feel like I'm behind in the comments. Okay, here we go. Yeah, city building games. Yeah, I know what you mean. All right. Can you make a video about your guitar similar to? I have one of those, I think. I think I did already do a video about my guitars and also my pedals and stuff like that. I'll have to go look at it. Maybe I might have acquired new stuff since I made it. Maybe not. I don't know. I suppose I could just make another one. It's not the end of the world if I do a repeat, is it? I mean, you might be disappointed. It's just the 2 guitars. I have an old crappy bass that's what is it? It's a Washburn that I don't even go into that. I bought it off a guy and I kind of got ripped off, but I'll just leave it at that. And then I have some pedals, and I got a little solid state bass amp that I use for my keyboard. I have a pig nose amp. Now, it's not the little tiny battery powered one, but it's from, I guess I got it in probably 81 or something like that. But it's a 2-channel solid state amp that I quite like, frankly. I know a lot of people aren't that big into solid state amps, but back in the day, man, most of us didn't have tube amps because tube amps were so much more expensive. I mean, there's a lot closer priced now than it is then, back then, at least from my perspective anyway. And the other thing is that tube amps, man, I knew dudes that had tube amps and they'd be like going, hey dude, could I use your amp? Because they would blow a tube or something bad would happen. You know what I mean? It's the same kind of thing. Like, people love like those old tape echoes, and they sound fantastic, but how many times did I have to like loan a dude a little stomp box because the tape broke or something? It's like, yikes. It's like everybody loves the old analog synths too, but it's the same thing. It's like, especially back in the day, those things didn't stay in tune for crap in a live situation. I mean, it was just horrible. So, I mean, everybody goes like, oh, why did they make that? It's like, because they were problematic and difficult to use in the real world, man. Anyway, there's my rant about that stuff. So yeah, I'll think about, maybe I'll just remake it or something like that. Hey Armand, how's it going, man? Okay, Nicola I'm not going to be able to say your name. Dimitrijevic. I don't know. Sorry about that. That's probably butchered to Alangon, but. Yeah, Dimebag's a great guitarist. That's certainly a true statement. And he's certainly up there with that kind of influential sorts of guys. Oh, man. Okay, let me think about this, Jaden. Yeah, that's a rough one, because I was kind of in a, well, I'll tell you, like, so when I was in my junior year, I was really, really, really super unhappy in high school. Mostly because I was, well, I was one of those, gifted kids, and, whatever. I usually say that I was diagnosed as a gifted child. They called us mentally gifted minors back in the day. It's like, yikes. And I don't know, I didn't have a good experience with any of it. That's not entirely true. I did have a few good teachers, but by the time I got to high school, it just sucked. And part of it was my family moved from the Bay Area, where I live now, because that's where we used to, when I grew up mostly in the Bay Area, to San Diego, and I just was kind of a fish out of water down there. Until, eventually I kind of got settled in, but anyway, so I decided to leave high school. So I took a test called the California High School Proficiency Exam, which is essentially the legal equivalent of a high school diploma. So I'm technically a high school dropout. So I don't know if I'm the right guy, because my whole, so what would be the thing? Well, here's the thing I'll say. Try to keep your own bearings about what you think you need and want. I mean, obviously take advice from parents and people that you trust and whatnot. But don't let people shoehorn you into something, man. You know what I mean? Because you're young. I mean, I know that everybody gets in a hurry and you got to do this and you got to do that. It's like, take a breath, man. And don't let people shoehorn you. That would be what I would say. Like if somebody's saying you need to go to law school or something like that, no, that's not what you want to do. Don't let them shove you in there. I'm just using that as an example. But I mean, my parents didn't try to shoehorn me in there, but I noticed that happening to other people. Like, wow, man, it just popped into my head. I haven't thought about him in a gazillion years. A guy that I was really good friends with in high school. And so I left, and so and I dropped out and left. That was when I was in San Diego. Then I moved back up here to the Bay Area for a while. And then so I was that was during I was in school with senior year. And then I went back down to San Diego and reconnected with some of those people after about a year or so. And that was when a lot of my friends was their freshman year at college. So a bunch of the people, when I went back to San Diego, had already actually left for college. And then so the year following that, so it was the summer after everybody's freshman year, I hooked up with one of my buddies. It was a common buddy with this guy I'm about to talk about. Anyway, the first guy, he killed himself, and it was the first close friend of mine that had done that. And it was because of pressure and stuff about college, and people just laying stuff on him, and he just buckled. He just couldn't take it. And it's a horrible, horrible tale, and I'm not saying that happens to everybody, but, it's I don't know. That's the extreme example, but, So try to keep your bearings and, don't let people bully you around. There you go. But congratulations on graduating, man. I didn't mean to turn that into a huge downer. I apologize for that. Dude, getting into the trades is a pretty cool thing. I know I have a lot of good friends that are tradesmen. And, I mean, you can make a good living if you're willing to do the work. I mean, that's the thing. It's going to be work, man. You don't get to be a lazy prick. You have to show up and do your work. And I did some labor and construction. I mean, the most kind of sophisticated thing I did is I worked for these guys for a while that they did plumb and line. And so I kind of apprenticed with them, I suppose, so to speak, but they weren't, it wasn't like a real shop. They did piecework, and then they sort of brought me along in their little thing. And so I did get to, help them, do plumb and line, right, to keep, put the stringers across and make sure everything's down between the chalk lines, and run the ram's head gun and the bolts and all that kind of nonsense to get the plates down and all, but it was hard work. And I was basically the bottom rung, you know what I mean? And it didn't suit me very well, to be honest. But dude, yeah, if you like that kind of working with your hands and, because you also have to use your brains when you're doing that kind of stuff too, but clearly you need your hands. But if you like that kind of thing, man, yeah, I would encourage you. I'm not sure where you live, Jaden. Do you? Because here in California we have a thing that's called ROP. It's the Regional Occupational Program, and they have a lot of good programs for people getting into various, well, occupational, stuff. And it depends on your, what's available at the, where you're at. But I don't know. And I don't know. Are there very many trade schools left anymore? Man, when I was a kid, that was a thing, but it kind of isn't a thing anymore. But dude, you could be a carpenter and an electrician, right? Yeah. I mean, what's that? The jack of all trades, master of none, something like that. The Sawyer. Well, thanks for the compliment. I appreciate it. Well, then don't sit behind a desk, Jaden. So if somebody starts pointing you towards that sort of path, just say no. You know what I mean? Just say no. Okay, let's move on to the next bit of crinkling. Oh, how are we doing on time? Yikes, I may not even get to any gameplay tonight. Let's do... Okay, actually let's do this one, and then we'll do those. Alright, so here's the original tiny bubble wrap that started the whole crinkle on the live stream, which is kind of the beginning of the triggers, wasn't it? Or was it the crinkle, or was it the brush? I don't remember which one I did first when I started doing the live streams a while back. Anyway, let's see what we got here. Well, you should look into that, Jaden. That's what that would be my advice. If that's kind of what you're interested in, man, then go pursue it. You should, if you're going to be, working for a living like that, you should do the thing that, you feel fulfilled in, you know what I mean? So like when you get home, you'll go, man, I'm beaten, I'm tired, but you feel like you did something worthwhile, yeah? What did I do for work? Yeah, you can ask. Let's see, where do I start? I mean, I've had a gazillion jobs. Well, maybe not a gazillion jobs. I don't know, some brief overview. So I did that construction thing I was talking about. That was when I was pretty young. And then I guess the next things of interest I did for a living was I worked as a math and logic tutor at a community college. I've also worked as an instructional aide for adult schools. And well, this is a downer of a job, so I won't go into the details, but I worked for a government organization that was called SLEAG. I don't remember what all the initials were for, but they were they did data analysis and gathering kind of thing for, for mostly to do with for federal studies. Like when you hear people talking about federal studies, it's one of those, they're the ones that do those types of studies. And the study that I was working for them on, gathering information for, was at a juvenile hall, juvenile detention center for, basically jail for kids. And so what I did is I did an intake interview with them, asking about sex and drug use things. And this was in the 80s, so it was during the whole AIDS scare and all of that. And they were trying to gather information as best they could about what was going on with kids and how it might be impacting them and all this kind of thing. And it was, there was aspects about it that were pretty horrible. So I won't go into too many of the details, but I didn't do that for very long because, well, it became heartbreaking is what it truly was. let's see, what else did I do? I worked for, well, this was a huge, big part of my life for a while. I worked for this artist, first in San Diego. His name was Max Springer, but he used to have this company called Art Ventures West. He was trying to do a thing, well, it wasn't exactly like, but he kind of had this thing in his head that was very similar to the Andy Warhol factory thing. But it was in San Diego, so it wasn't New York, and it wasn't pop art. It was a different thing. But I don't know. He just had this whole sort of idea of having a factory for himself, kind of thing. And so I worked in a wood shop, and we made these big panels that he painted on. Some of them were just rectilinear things. So it was just like big rectangle, because he liked painting these in triptych, so 3 panels. But then also these ones that were like these, they were like wood panels, so they're mostly kind of 2D, but they were carved in relief and stuff. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Go back, you stinking thing. Thank you. Just go back. Stop doing the thing. See, it does. Here, I'll show you what it does. Right, it'll do this. Now it zooms. Right, and now I want it to zoom back out. Come on, go away. Stop. Yeah, see, it doesn't work well. Yeah. Anyway, it's still doing the weird thing I don't want it to do, but I haven't learned how to do the gestures for it to do what I want it to do smoothly yet. Anyway, what was I saying? Now I totally lost my train of thought. See, what is it doing? I don't want it to do that. Stop. All right, give me a quick second. I'm going to get it to... No, I don't want it to zoom. I want it to stop doing this now. Dude, stop doing the thing. Stop doing the thing, man. Maybe I do it like that. Is that doing it? Why won't it just stop doing it? I don't know, man. It's annoying me. Come on, stop. It's supposed to be you just hold your hand up and it's supposed to stop doing the thing. Well, whatever. Maybe we'll just have to survive, I guess, until I can figure out how to use it better. Anyway, let's see what's going on with the comments. Oh, I was talking about my jobs, wasn't I? Okay, so I worked for Max, and then he's why I went to the Netherlands, because he transferred out of Southern California and packed up and just moved over to a place called Utrecht. And hey, wait a minute, there's somebody here from Utrecht. Yeah, I spent 2-3 month stints in Utrecht, once in 93, and then again in 98. Yeah, I liked Utrecht. I liked it quite a bit. I lived on 23 Prittekaren-straat, just over by the corner of Hardballen and Prittekaren. It was like right around the block from the short little red light district that used to be over there. Yeah, I liked it a lot over there. What else did I do? And then I also did computer programming. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, that gives you a smattering of the stuff I did. Oh, and I also worked for, my most recent job was I worked for a paper company that was for retail packaging. So like bags, boxes, that kind of stuff. Okay, let's move on to the next, because these are, actually, I think after I do these, I will switch to playing Octordal. Let's see if this will, maybe it'll stop doing the thing now. If I do both of these with my hands up like this, it'll stop doing the weird framing thing that it's trying to do. See, I don't want you to do that, man. Stop. Hey, Ryan. Thanks, Ryan. That's probably where it's most likely going to go, too. I really appreciate that, man. That's really, really generous of you. Thank you. Okay, we all know how this goes now, right? Okay, here we go. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. And the crowd goes wild. Thanks, Ryan. That's really super generous, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Let's see what I have. Oh, what was your comment? Maybe I didn't notice it. How far up was it? I'll just ask it again, Tim, if you don't mind, so I don't have to go scrolling up searching for it. Is there some way you can switch the camera to me? Yeah, see, that's the thing. It doesn't have a button. It's a OBSBot Meet 2 or something like that. And it's supposed to be this AI thing feature that's supposed to be able to do 2 gestures. One is supposed to be like that, and that's supposed to be doing zoom, right? So like it just did. And then I'm supposed to be able to do it again, and it'll zoom back out. Come on, do it. So zoom back out, you stinking thing. But it's stuck in frame mode, like this thing where it's supposed to automatically frame your face. And I can't get it to get out of framing mode. It's really frustrating. Here we go. Yay, it went back to normal. Holy mackerel. I guess I'm going to have to be careful about when I'm gesturing about stuff. I don't know, I'll just have to get better at using it, Anyway, hey, first name John. No, I started on time. Where have you been, man? Oh, I'm sorry you had a long day, Tim, and my weekend has been okay. I've been pretty productive today. I got Monday's video up. I intended to have it up at the end of last week, but I didn't get it up until today. But it'll, be released on Monday. I also ended up, now I'm going to start taking some of my big giant YouTube dollars. I'm going to start doing some stuff around the house with it because we need some yard work stuff done and whatever. And well, anyway, so I'm going to be doing some of that kind of thing. And so anyway, I started that today. Me and my sister were doing some stuff, and it was fun to be hanging out with her and get some things done. Yeah, it was a good day so far, and tomorrow should be good too. And oh, right, yeah. I didn't start the timer right away. Well, it's good to have you here, Rob. Thanks for coming by, man. All right, you know what I'm going to do? Just because I want to play a little bit of Octortle, so I'm going to switch over to that bit. So let's do this. Let me move the OBS out of the way so I can get over to here. And, oh, you know what? I don't think I've played today's dailies, so let's go do that. I don't usually play this, but I do it when I play it in front of you guys just because it seems, I don't know, worth doing. So let me move myself out of the way. Here we go. And, oh, hang on, I can't see the comments. Move this over a little bit. There we go. Oh, is it 50 over 50? I didn't even notice. Wow, good. Getting bigger numbers, man, that's great. Do I ever play RuneScape? That doesn't ring a bell, so I don't think so. Oh, let's see, make sure I'm in the correct window. Oh, I don't want to do my normal thing because this is the rescue. So let's see, what is this even worth doing? Man. I'm not sure what we have here, so pop. I wonder if that one is taffy. Yep, it is, okay. And is that going to be treat like that? Okay. TR or something, but I'm missing vowels. And that's going to be trust, isn't it? Nope, it is not. Yikes, okay. Oh, trout. I didn't see that O. Dang it. Man, that means I have no margin now. Okay, hang on. Ralph Macho. Hey, the Wizard Tuesday. How you doing, man? Okay, what do I have? Oh, Frost. Let's go ahead and put that one there. That's pretty basic. So what is that over there? O-E-R. That could be rover. It could be rower. It could be roper. It could be lower. Man, all right. Oh, that's going to be Fritz, isn't it? All right. I don't see what that first one is at all. What is that? Guide, maybe? Yeah, that's what it's going to be, isn't it? Nope. Oh, man, I'm done then. All right, what is it? It's going to be Guile. All right. It doesn't really matter because I can't make it. Hey, man, thanks to Wizard Tuesday. I really appreciate that. That's fantastic, man. And, okay, wait a minute. We all know how this goes, guys. One more time. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. And the crowd goes wild. Here we go. My back is... There we go. Okay. Anyway, thanks, the Wizard. That's fantastic. I really appreciate it. All right, what am I doing here? That's going to be still, isn't it, maybe? And there we go. So I missed that one. All right, so let's go to... how about we do extreme? All right. Oops. I didn't realize the timer's in the way. Yikes. Sorry about that, you guys. All right. Oops, now I need to get back over to the right window. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Oops. Cushy. I can't type today. Oh, wow, okay. Any recommendations? Oh, wow. Where are you going to be in California? That's the thing. If you're going to be in San Francisco, I can recommend, I think it's Yangtze. It's over near the Embarcadero, and it's a Chinese restaurant that they do dim sum, and they do probably the best dim sum I've ever had, and I really like dim sum. I think they have a Michelin star for dim sum, to be honest. So if you're in San Francisco, go there for dim sum. As far as tours and stuff, you know, I've never really done any actual real tours in California anywhere. So I'm not sure how to advise you on that. Just, you know, go check stuff out, man, you know. I guess it depends on where you're going to be at. Let's see, what else do I have here? Okay, what do we have? That's going to be what? Punch, lunch, bunch, munch. Because there's something that will give me, is that going to be grind, maybe? Should I risk that? I'm going to risk it. Why not? Oop. Okay, it was grind. That one's going to be gamer, isn't it? And so that's cameo. And what else do we have over here? Eater, maybe? No, day can't be second, so it's not that. I think that other one is MC. Yep, they use that word a lot. Okay, so it's not munch. What do I have? I have 5 to get 4, so I still have 1 I can use to just hunt letters down. Let's see if I can get something before I have to do that, though. I guess not, man. All right, I'm going to do... I guess I'll just use plum. Well, it's kind of a little redundant. Well, there we go. We got some P's there, so I'm going to say plaza just to... Okay, what do you know? And it's punch. And that's going to be extra, isn't it? And what's the last one there? Valid. Yay. We got the extreme done today. Okay, hang on. We got stuff going on. You're drinking a shot of Jack Daniels. All right. I don't drink anymore, so I'm going to pass, but thanks. Hey, Jimmy Nitro. Right on. I like playing Mind Test, man, Mercury. Yes, I do. Yeah, yeah. But the Bubba Gun thing up here, 39 is okay. I've been there with, I have a niece that's like, she's a huge fan of that restaurant, so I've taken her there. She would come stay with me when I lived over in the city, would stay the weekend with me, and that would be one of the places that she would have to go to. That and Boudin for the clam chowder bowl. You know, what's a sourdough bowl with clam chowder in it. Well, San Francisco's famous for sourdough, so. Should you clip your toenails, man? I don't know. It's up to you. Sound of neighbors makes. Well, you know, if it's pleasant enough, I guess that's okay. But I don't know, man, about the weekly on the mind test thing, because there's other videos that I like making, and I don't want my channel to become just a mind test channel. So that's probably not likely for at least, you know, I don't know. Let's do this one. I appreciate the sentiment, though. I'm glad that it's so popular. But so what are we going to do here? What are we going to do here? What are we going to do? That's going to be shack, isn't it? All right. And that's going to be snare. What else do we have going on here? Well, it is good food, but yeah, you know, I didn't think you were serious about it being the best there is in San Francisco, but it is a fun place, I think. No, I can't do a backflip. Oh, I know that it'll be a different thing, Mercury, to do the whole thing in not creative mode, but my goal is I'm going to be playing around with creative mode just because it amuses me and I like it. And I'm eventually going to build a city, and then I'll be wandering around in that and just, you know, and I may eventually, you know, just play the normal version. I don't know, it'll depend on, you know, I don't know. You have to bear in mind that, like, I am an ASMR channel and I use games as a means of delivering ASMR, you know. So it's, you know, yeah, I mean, that is what it is. Hey, I don't know how should I say that as Russ, and you're doing like kind of the Latin thing, or is it RVSS? What is that going to be? Is that going to be state, slate, stale? Man, all right, I'm going to use plum. And all right, so I'm going to say that it's, oh, it could be, this could be stage 2, couldn't it? All right, let me see what else I can get over there. Is that going to be, that could be mangy. What's that one there? I'm not seeing a couple of these now. Valor, maybe? Okay, there's that one. That one's probably moldy. Okay, so mangy, maybe? Okay, that's going to be geeky. Okay, I think what else? No, I think that's it. I think it's going to be state. And what's this last one, man? I'm not getting it at all. Oh, it's a fix. There we go. I've done that. Let's do sequence, and then I'll do chill. Is that going to be smash? And what's this going to be? Is this going to be ghost, maybe? Okay. this? Dogma. Yeah, there we go. Burst. SLE. Is it sleet, I guess? And drawn. And what do we have over there at the end here? Herd, maybe. There we go. And we'll end with chill. Hang on, let me go check out the comments real quick. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Ghirardelli's a good place. And it's a kind of pricey for, getting some ice cream and stuff, but I think it's worth, eating in there as well as buying stuff. I don't know. I just like the vibe. Plus, there's that, that you can go look at where the machinery thing going, where they're doing the chocolate thing right there, and you can just watch it happen. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I don't know about the multiple days a week thing. That's a possibility. I won't say, that it can't happen. Right now, I'm just so bad at managing my time. It's not likely, at least, not in the immediate future. But I don't know, maybe when I get better at just doing all of this stuff and, being more streamlined. And yeah, I don't know. Mercury, as far as the, I haven't watched anybody play Minecraft or Minetest or anything like that as an ASMR thing, so I have no idea what the example would be. But I'm just kind of one of those guys that I get it. I'm going to do the thing I'm going to do the way I'm going to do it. And that's just kind of the way it is. I can be a bit of a cantankerous prick at times. But, and, well, good night then. Okay. Okay, we'll go with Russ then. Right on. Where am I? Oh, I'm in Daily Chill, so let's get back over to here. And so since this one you get so many frickin' guesses, I just do the whole thing. Let's say, do we need to, how many Detzels? So let's go ahead and do Vixen and Squiz. There, all the letters are out now, and I still have one extra. So that's going to be Trick. That's going to be Reach. That's going to be Vivid. What's that one going to be? Evade. It's going to be Cream. Ditch. Count. And Still, I guess, yeah. There you go. What do you know? All right, well, there you go. What time do we have here on the freaking timer? 5 minutes left. All right, I'm going to, let me just go back to, without playing any game or anything, I'll just do the basic sit around and chat kind of thing until the end of the thing, because I'll probably go a few minutes over too, just because, I always end up doing it. But, okay, hang on. Okay, man, yeah, that's fine. I'm not having any malice towards you for it, man. I'm just, trying to set expectations, that's all. Okay, Dylan, take care, man. And good luck with the upcoming podcast stuff, man. I hope you get some progress happening with that, man. That sounds good. And I guess I should, I don't know, do I want to do any more trigger stuff, or should I just sit here and babble for a few minutes, I guess? I'll just sit here and babble for a few minutes. Sorry about that, I mean to kick the mic stand. Sorry, I'm getting all squirmy. constantly cater to captivating creatures. Catatonic catacombs constantly cater to captivating creatures. Do I have plans for, I have a few things that I have been thinking about doing on the vlog channel. And I don't know, it's sort of a couple of things I've been thinking about doing is revisiting some of the stuff I've already talked about. Well, one of the things I've already talked about is that, my idea of utopia sort of thing. I don't remember what I titled it or whatever. But there was a lot of people that just, they weren't really paying attention to what I was saying from some of their comments. So, it's, maybe I just need to redo it again in a clearer fashion or something like that. I don't know, yeah. I don't know. Nothing is firmed up enough that I'm going to give you any previews for it. But yeah, there's some ideas I have. And most of them had to do with, left-wing nonsense, like, I don't know, racism, anti-trans nonsense, and this kind of crap. Plus my, distaste for, late-stage consumer capitalism, being a left-wing anarchist guy. Anyway, let's see where I've got some. All right, so who's my favorite ASMR artist? I'm going to have to say Maria, Gentle Whispering. That's just the short answer. I mean, there's tons of people that I really like, but she's consistently the one I watch. I mean, I watch her every week. Huh, I don't know which video that would be, so Emily. Well, dude, you are certainly a draw, MSC, so, you're going to have to start beating off the groupies there. Well, I'm glad you were able to hang out on, How did I manage to stop drinking alcohol? Well, I had a kick in the ass from doctors who said, stop drinking or you're going to die. So that helps. And then I did a program I had Kaiser through my job at the time. And so they did a thing where they contact your employer and say that you're medically out of work for a month, and your employer can't ask any details about that by law, so they don't know what your problem was. They just know that you're going to be out of work for a month. And I did an outpatient thing. It was a month-long thing, but you didn't have to spend the night there. It was walking distance from my house, which was really convenient. But yeah, it was in San Francisco. I was living in San Francisco. Yeah, I mean, so that, and then I have a very supportful, family and, a few friends that were, cool about it. So, yeah, I mean, anyway, so oops, there goes the thing. Okay, good. I'll just leave it be. It's okay. Wait a minute, I'm losing track of comments here. Well, dude, if you feel that you have a problem, then you likely do. I mean, there's tons of places online that give you all sorts of questionnaires, and it's like if you do this or you do that, you might be an alcoholic thing. But I think most people know. I knew. I just didn't want to believe it. But if you think you need to quit, or maybe you just need to do harm reduction and cut down, I don't know. But you need to consider that for yourself, man. I can't. You have to answer that question for yourself and be honest about it, man. Wow, okay. Well, I'm glad that it's going okay with the cat, Rob. Wow, okay. So I've got a fan in both you and the cat then, huh? Oh, okay. I didn't see that video by ER about why he's an anarchist, so I have no idea what his explanation would be. Well, I'm doing okay, Yickerman. So, you know, you're like here right at the tail end of it, man. And, all right. Do I have a favorite trigger? My favorite trigger is, well, it's a 50-50 between whisper or soft-spoken female voice ear to ear. That's like reliable as hell for me. Hey, Matthew, okay, I have other multiple people giving me money and being generous and all that. Hey, Matthew, I really appreciate it. So here we go. We all know how this goes. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. And the crowd goes, ah. Yeah, I didn't even realize the extra meaning in there until you print it out there. So yeah, okay, happy accident, I suppose, right? Anyway, hey Rob, okay, thank you very much as well, Mr. Generous Man. Thank you, I appreciate it. You guys are being very kind to me, and I do appreciate it. I mean, I'm not trying to be a smartass at all. It is groovy, man. I do appreciate it. So here we go. Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray! And the crowd goes, ah. Yeah, well, the evil timer's over, but yeah. We've already used up that time. That's fine. I'll stay a few minutes extra just for whatever. Did it make 60? Oh, wow. My thing here is telling me 65. Yikes. Good crowd. That might be my biggest peak yet. My biggest peak is something in the 60s. How long is a beard right now? Oh, here. It's that long. That's how long it is. Oh, yeah, you guys are talking about ER. Didn't he, like, say some just, like, really insensitive things about something, like, to do with terrorism or something like that? Or I don't remember. I just remember somebody making a comment, and then, I don't know. Anyway, I should just leave it be, I guess. Thanks, Rob. Yeah, I don't know. I just needed to do something to be, I don't know. It's just something that felt good and cheerful to, say, point out the fact that people are being nice to me, and that I appreciate it. Wow. Sorry to hear about ER. I mean, to be honest, I haven't really watched a lot of his stuff recently. I mean, I watch, once in a while, poke my nose in and watch some of his stuff. I mean, he certainly has skill, and he's a very creative guy. And he and I, because when we did that one collaboration, that was really fruitful, I think. I really liked it. And he and I did, interact quite a bit, back then. We were, talking, like doing, video conference call type things and like that. We got along pretty well. And then we were planning on doing another sort of thing, and then I kind of just dropped the ball on it, and then we just sort of drifted apart, and then it was kind of my fault. And anyway, I don't know what to say about it. You think it was Ralph Macchio then? Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see when all the numbers come in from the Nielsen ratings people. No, I don't have any plans to shape off the beard. And let's see, I'm almost 60. My sister then is going to be 57 this year. So it will be this November. It'll be 17 years that I've had the beard, because I stopped shaving on her 40th birthday. Actually, that's not true. Because I had a bit of, facial hair at the time. It wasn't like a beard or anything, just kind of stubbly. Well, more than stubble, but because I have a pretty massive beard. But so it was like, I don't know, a couple days growth or whatever. So it was, anyway, yeah. She was at her birthday party. They were watching the 300. That was a lot of things going on, but there was one room she set up with a TV and things, so people could chill out and watch movies and that kind of thing if they wanted to. Anyway, they were running the 300, and I was pretty drunk, and I made some wisecrack about I could grow a bitter beard in those bastards, because they had all those stylized bastards or stylized beards in the movie. Anyway, so my sister said, well then, put up or shut up, grow a damn beard. And I said, all right. So I stopped shaving, and there we go. Now I have this long beard. I mean, I've had beards and goatees and stuff like that before, but yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I know I will probably keep it for the rest of my life, unless, I don't know. I suppose something could change. I don't like to say never, but yeah, there's nothing in the plans about getting rid of it. Oh, I'll have to look into Vintage Story, Mike. What is my heritage? Okay, so from my dad's side, it is Scottish and German Jew. And on my mom's side on her dad's side is mostly English and Scotch-Irish. And on her mom's side is a little bit of English, but mostly French-Italian. So I'm a bit of a mud, I suppose. But, well, European with the, Ashkenazi Jew thrown in. Although, I don't, I've never been I don't count myself as Jewish. I just, that's in my ancestry. I mean, I know very little about it, I mean, I've read some things and this and that about world religion and all that, and so I have a little bit of idea about what goes on, but, yeah, anyway. Have I ever searched YouTube to see how many places? Well, are you sure it's stolen, though? Because if it's the guy that does the, oh crap, it's the pure ASMR, and he does like unintentional ASMR, those things. He has some of my content because I gifted it to him. He helped me do some things to get some better, exposure, whatever, and I, kind of grow my channel a little bit. And he kind of, I don't know, there was other things that he had in mind, but then he just sort of dropped out of the picture. I don't know what happened, but so that was the deal. He did some stuff for me, and then I gave him some material for his channel. So if you're seeing that, that's legit. So no, I don't know whether people are stealing my stuff or not, to be honest. Maybe I should, try to see. There's also a girl that has one of my videos that, because I did a contest a long time ago, so I made her video as the prize to put on her channel. So, and I even gave her permission if she wanted to monetize it, if she ever got, I don't think she has enough subscribers and views or whatever to be able to actually monetize, but because she's not an active ASMR artist. At least I don't think so. She wasn't back then. Yeah, oh, hang on, it's 10 p.m. 10 p.m. means it's time for me to take a pill. There we go. Oops, what am I doing here now? So let's get this out of the way over here. Let me get this back over here. And then let me get this back over there so I can see what the hell I'm doing. All right, gang. Well, I'm going to have to... Well, here, let's get a couple more comments here, and then I'm going to have to call it a night. Yeah, those DNA things seem kind of interesting to me, Russ, but I'm a little leery of it because I kind of feel like it's probably just people doing data gathering. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I just get uncomfortable when it's like if that's what they're doing and they're not being upfront about exactly what they're doing. And my thinking is that they're probably selling it off to pharmaceutical companies. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a jaded prick. But I'll have to check it out, man. Thanks for letting me know, though, MSC, because, yeah, maybe somebody's being a prick and I should, go do, a copyright strike or crap against them. I don't know. Yeah, my background's funky. Yeah, I suppose it is. Well, I'm glad you were able to make it here too, Alan, although it is right at the end. I'm going to be ending here in just a couple of minutes. But thanks for chiming in and saying hi and all of that. I'm glad you made it. Well, I'm glad you find it, Mike. I'm glad that you welcome aboard and all that, you know. Hope to see you in some future live streams. Yeah, I can see that, James Games. Practice your eyeliner. Right on. Groovy, groovy, groovy. Okay, gang, I'm going to call that it. My back's telling me that I've been here too long. So that'll be that. And so, yeah, I guess until next Saturday, gang, aloha siblings.